Greetings loyal minions, welcome back to the SciShow, the #1 ranked YouTube channel for people who like playing with slime. Very simple. If that's you, I appreciate you. We're here to check out the new slime family hero available in the Super Elemental portal right now. We have Mucktus. Mucktus is a sorcerer class which gives us the chance to drop the mana generation of the enemy, so that's reasonably useful. We are part of the slime family where we're getting the bonus for 1, 2, 3 heroes of the mega minions, having 10, 15 or 20% extra attack based on the numbers of the family heroes in the team. We have the passive of the slime minion upon defeat, so once the hero is defeated it summons a slime mega minion to nearby allies with 51% HP and 40% attack. And we also have the slime minion split, so if the hero loses more than 25% of max health at once, it also summons a mega minion to itself with 51% HP and 40% attack. Reasonably good looking stats there. Obviously being a new hero, we're just a touch over that 1100 power. Pretty balanced overall there with the attack, defense and HP. The special skill we have is Insidious Goo. Running at average speed, we're dealing 260% damage to all enemies. Summons a slime fiend for all enemies. The fiend damages the enemy with 28% attack every turn, and the slime fiend absorbs healing. It disappears after absorbing a healing amount equal to 10% of its target's max health. At the end of each turn, the slime fiend steals one of its target's dispellable buffs or growth effect and gives it to a random character on the opposite team. So those fiends are running very similar to Cardinal Richelieu's. However, it is also stealing the growth effect, which is a huge added bonus. So again, you can take it against, I've been using Fungustine, who has a similar mechanic. However, Fungustine relies on getting hit by the enemy to steal the buff or growth, whereas Mucktus is casting that fiend over to the enemy to steal the growth or buff. So fantastic against heroes like your Grimsteels, even your Darkfeather, any of those goblins or newer heroes that are adding that growth to the enemy team. It is fantastic to steal it back to your own team. My only issue, it's not a huge hit, 260% to all, that's okay. I feel the fiend is a little bit weak, so it's only absorbing a healing amount equal to 10% of its target's max health. Most healers will get rid of that very, very easily. Even some of the smaller boosters would most likely get rid of that. Just for comparison, Cardinals is absorbing 30% before it's removed. So you want to make sure you're firing this thing at the exact right time. If you're going against a healer, you need to make sure you're firing it way before the healer's going to go off to give those fiends the maximum amount of time to be stealing the buffs and growth for you. Don't fire it just before a healer's about to go off. It could work when paired with someone such as a Smart Tongue who reduces the healing of the enemy team, but it would need testing to see exactly how much that's going to work and whether that reduction in healing, depending on how big the healer is, may, even with a 50 or 75% reduction, may still get rid of these fiends. So keep that in mind, but that's what I'd be trying to pair it with. If you're going up against a healer, make sure you're taking someone who's reducing that healing effect from the enemy team. It may mean the fiends survive a little bit longer. They may survive a full healing cycle and be able to steal those buffs for you. So solid hero, not quite as good as I would say, you know, the Fungustine or Sludgus that are in that family. So it's good that they haven't created something ridiculously overpowered, and it's going to be a very good addition to a lot of green rosters. Any sort of hit all, doing a reasonable amount of damage. So obviously if you're throwing a defense down or an elemental defense down, the damage is going to be bigger. You've got the extra defense of the minions. So if it's taking a big hit, it's getting a minion, which means it's going to survive longer. And obviously when it dies, it's giving those mega minions to its nearby allies. So it just creates a little bit more survivability and defense to a couple of other people on your team once it's passing away. Obviously due to that, you wouldn't really want to put it on the wing because it's only going to give that to one person. But that's not the main thing to be thinking about, but just something to keep in mind, especially if you're trying to throw it on your defense. Make sure you're not putting it in a position where it's not going to utilize all of its skill. We'll also just throw that max power preview on so we can see we have the Fiend Resist Aether talent, which is not a hugely effective Aether talent, but it gives you small protection against those fiends. And as mentioned earlier, the talents there, we're obviously dropping the mana generation being a sorcerer. So overall, a solid hero. If you're making any pulls in this portal, best of luck to you. I hope you get the exact hero you're looking for, but not something I would suggest chasing for, as it's not going to be an absolute must-have type hero. So weirdly enough, I'm going to give this the rating of a green jelly bean, or jelly baby, whichever you're into. It's generally not the one that everyone wants, but it's also not the one that everyone hates. So you have those really nice ones like the red ones and orange ones that everyone just goes straight for. You then have, you know, some of those aniseed ones or the boring white ones that no one wants. The green one's just in the middle. You're quite happy to have it. You don't hate it, but you're not going to be smacking people around the face trying to beat them to it to get it first out of the pack. If you like what you're watching, check out some of my other videos. I may have a link here or there or somewhere. Just click on it if there is. Gently caress the subscribe button. Give your kitty a scratch for me, and have a good one.